In this video we are going to talk about types of triangles and many other things afterwards, but we start with types of triangles. We can classify triangles in two different ways, according to angles and according to sides. If we classify them according to angles, we have three different types. First, an acute angled triangle, which is a triangle where all the angles are acute. That means all the angles are less than 90 degrees. Obtuse angled triangle is a triangle in which one of the angles is more than has a measurement greater than 90 degrees. Okay, one of the angles. It can be only one, of course, because you know that the sum of all the angles in a triangle is 180, so there cannot be two angles with more than 90. And right triangle are those where one of the angles, it can only be one, is exactly 90 degrees. Usually we mark that angle with this, like a square with a dot in the middle. Okay? And if we classify the triangles according to sides, then we have as well three types. The equilateral triangle, in which all the sides are equal, all the sides have the same length, and of course all the angles too, by symmetry. But we are talking about sides here, we are classifying according to sides. So equilateral, all sides are equal. Isosceles, two sides are equal and one is different. And scalene, when all sides are different. All sides have different lengths. And now, to finish the video, we are going to talk about quadrilateral shapes. Well, the easiest and simplest quadrilateral shape is the square. That is a quadrilateral, four sides. That's the meaning of quadrilateral, four sides. So a quadrilateral with all the sides and all the angles equal, that's what we call a square. Here, all the sides and all the angles equal, so that's a square. If all the angles are equal, as we know that all the angles in a quadrilateral add up to 360, 360 divided by 4 must be 90, so each of these angles must be 90 degrees. Now, if we keep the angles at 90 degrees, but we change one of the sides, we elongate the square, we get a rectangle. So the sides are parallel and perpendicular to the contiguous sides, forming 90-degree angles, but we have a measurement here and a measurement here. We call this width and this length. We say this is how wide the rectangle is and how long the rectangle is. If instead of changing the sides, we keep the sides equal, but we change the angles, what we have is a rhombus. We get a rhombus. So if we tilt the square, we get a rhombus. But all the sides keep equal. All the sides are equal, but the angles are not equal anymore, but they are equal in pairs. This is the same as this, and this measures as this one here. If we do that with a rectangle, what we get is a rhomboid. So in this case, the sides are different, but this is equal to this and this is equal to this. Opposite sides are equal and opposite angles are equal as well. That's a rhomboid. If from the square we shorten one of the sides or elongate the other, what we get is a trapezium. Okay, in this case we shorten one of the sides, we elongate the other, or in any case we have one side that is longer than the opposite, and these two, they can be equal or not. If they are if these two are equal, we call it equilateral trapezium. If they are not equal, for instance this comes over here, then we will call it just a trapezium. But very important, this side and this side must be parallel. That's what we call the basis of the trapezium. This side and this side must be parallel. The others cannot be parallel, of course. And finally, if all the sides are different measurements, and all the angles are different, then what we have is an irregular quadrilateral. Okay? Well, I've heard that in some places they call this a trapezoid. Okay? But I rather call that irregular quadrilateral. Okay?